The palace was silent that evening, yet the silence carried a weight heavier than thunder. King Charles sat alone in his study, the golden glow of the chandelier casting long shadows on the walls. His trembling hand gripped a letter, the one that had shaken him to his very core. Across the world, the headlines screamed of it. Prince Harry reveals royal secret. The monarchy, once a fortress of tradition and pride, now stood on the brink of collapse, and the father's heart inside the king was breaking. The revelation hadn't come through whispers, nor in private corridors, but openly. In Harry's own words during an interview broadcast worldwide, with pain etched across his face, Harry spoke of hidden struggles, concealed truths, and the loneliness of growing up within the royal walls. But what shattered Charles most was not the criticism of the monarchy, it was the personal confession. The words only a wounded son could say. I felt like I never truly belonged in my father's world. Charles read those words again and again, each time as if a dagger pierced his chest. For decades, he had believed he was protecting his son by preserving tradition, by upholding the crown's unyielding image. But now, staring at the tear-stained letter Harry had written to him after the interview, Charles realized his son had lived with a secret burden, feeling unloved, unseen, and unheard by the very man who should have held him closest. Memories rushed through the king's mind. Harry as a boy, hiding behind Diana's dress during public appearances. Harry's mischievous grin when sneaking into the royal kitchen. And then the dark day when Diana was gone and his son's laughter faded into silence. Charles had buried his own grief beneath duty, never realizing Harry had been drowning in his. The revelation divided the nation. Some sympathized with Harry, praising his bravery for exposing truths long hidden. Others condemned him, calling it betrayal. But Charles did not care about the noise of the world. He cared about the silence between him and his son, the years of missed words, unspoken apologies, and withheld affection. Late that night, King Charles left his study and walked through the quiet palace halls. Each portrait of his ancestors seemed to stare at him, demanding strength, demanding tradition. Yet for the first time, Charles felt that the weight of the crown was lighter than the weight of a father's regret. When dawn broke, he made a decision. The king would not respond with a press release or a carefully crafted statement. He would respond as a father. Boarding a private plane, Charles flew to meet Harry not as monarch and prince, but as father and son. The reunion was tense. Harry stood with arms crossed, his face guarded. Meghan hovered nearby, unsure whether to step forward or stay back. But Charles, with tears glistening in his eyes, approached slowly. He did not bring rehearsed words, nor the grandeur of a king. Instead, he whispered, his voice breaking, I am sorry. For everything you carried alone. For not being the father you needed. For a long moment, Harry said nothing. His jaw tightened, his eyes brimmed with the pain of years past. Then, with trembling hands, he finally let go of the anger that had defined him. I just wanted to be seen, he whispered. In that moment, the royal titles, the centuries of tradition, the crown itself all of it faded into the background. What remained was simply a father and a son, two broken hearts trying to heal. The world would continue to debate Harry's revelation, but behind closed doors, the story had shifted. Charles, humbled and shattered, began to rebuild what years of silence had destroyed. And Harry, though still scarred, found something he thought he had lost forever. Father willing to fight for him, not just for the monarchy. The powerful truth lingered. Crowns may last for centuries. But love when chosen can heal wounds no history book dares to write.